Alright, so these are some notes also for angles. We're looking now at special types of angle pairs. These are the notes you got on Friday. So we've got special angle pairs. So we've got different types of angles that we have, and we have what we call special angle pairs. And the special angle pairs are certain types of angles that have certain characteristics which make them unique. So the first one we're going to look at is one you've seen before called perpendicular lines. Okay, that's lines that intersect to form four right angles. Okay, what is a right angle? That means the measure equals 90 degrees. So when I draw perpendicular lines, all I have to do is draw two lines that when they intersect create four right angles. All of these angles are 90 degrees. Now you don't have to write the 90 degrees in there because those boxes indicate 90 degrees. Anytime you see that little box, they indicate 90 degrees. So let's look at example 1. Example 1 says line NP and line QR are perpendicular lines. So right off the bat, perpendicular, the measure equals 90 for each of the angles. They intersect at point O. Find the value of x. Well, I know all of these are going to be right angles because the lines are perpendicular. So I know that 5x minus 5 has to equal 90. So from here, I'm just going to solve it out like an algebra problem. So I'm going to add the 5 to both sides. So 5x equals 95. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 5. Oops, sorry. Divide both sides by 5. Okay. So x is going to end up being 19. Now, if you want to confirm that you got the right answer, you would take the 19 and you would plug it back in. So you've got 5 times 19 minus 5. 5 times 19 is 95, and 95 minus 5 is 90 degrees, which is what we're looking for perpendicular angles. So that's perpendicular angles. All right, so the next one we have is we've got vertical angles in a linear pair. Not all lines that form right angles, not all intersecting lines form angles that are right angles. We have vertical and we've got linear pair. Let's start this again. Not all intersecting lines form right angles, but they do form four angles that have special relationships. So anytime you have two intersecting lines, basically you're going to have four angles. So let's look at the first one. We have vertical angles. Those are two non-adjacent angles formed by intersecting lines. And we're going to talk about adjacent angles in just a little bit. So when you have two intersecting lines, your vertical angles are going to be what's across from each other. So this one and this one. That's a vertical angle pair right there. Okay, let's go ahead and label them. So angle 1 and angle 2 are a vertical pair. And then we also have these. We'll call those 3 and 4. Angle 3, whoops, apologize for that. Angle 3 and angle 4 are also a vertical pair. So those are your pairs of vertical angles. Now the unique thing about vertical angles that we're going to talk about is that they're always congruent to each other. So 3 and 4 would always be the same measure in 1 and 2, but we'll get to that a little bit later. So there's your vertical angles. Now let's look at a linear pair. And the key word you see in linear is line. Okay? Again, these are also adjacent. Okay? The vertical angles are non-adjacent. These are adjacent, whose non-common sides are opposite rays. What do you think non-common means? Well, non-common means the side they don't share. So what we're going to look at for a linear pair here is you're basically going to have a straight line, and then you're going to have angle 1 and angle 2, and those are a linear pair. So angle 1 and angle 2 are a linear pair. And what that means is they are adjacent, they share a side, and they share a vertex. And a linear pair is always going to have a sum of 180 degrees. They will always add to 180 because they are a straight line. They, in essence, form a straight angle. A linear pair forms a straight angle. Remember, we've talked about how a straight angle is 180 degrees. So if you've got 3 points here and you've got a straight line, it's a straight angle. A linear pair together will form a straight angle. And again, the vertical angles that we had above here, these are always adding to 180. These are always congruent, and that's the symbol for congruent. Same size, same shape, or going to be equal measure.